So I'm going to ask you a couple questions about basically the new move and being at the new high school.
Sure.
So we're going to break it down into three parts. We're going to break it down to the final months here at this building.
Mm-hmm.
Part two will be the big move, and then the third part will be what it will be like at the new building.
Okay.
So, question one: when you think of Tahoma being here for 40 years, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
Time goes fast. I remember when I was in high school that Tahoma High School was still at what is now Tahoma Middle School. And I remember playing football games at the old Tahoma High School. So to think of this building as 40 years old, and I remember when it was built, I wasn't working here at the time. Time goes really quickly, but it served its purpose very well.
Let's go back in time for a moment. It's your first day working here at Tahoma. What were you feeling at the time? What was going on through your mind?
I imagine the same thing that goes through a lot of students' minds. Okay, where am I? Where are my rooms? Because I was teaching in multiple classrooms at the time. And can somebody please tell me where the staff room is? Or, okay, there are the boxes. Now I know where I'm at. Finding my way around, if I understand the question correctly. Mostly it was about logistics, finding out where I am, okay, putting people together with them. Okay, this teacher's in this room, and I know that if I need to find this person on this period, I can find them over here, that sort of thing, just knowing my way around.
After 40 years of making history in this building, how do you think the new student body that will be coming to the new building will have that responsibility carrying on that legacy and even some new ones?
That's a really good question. You know, without trying to sound trite or canned, a school isn't just a building. It certainly is a school, but a school is the people that make it up, the students, the staff. And I don't see that changing much. We're bringing, when we move our student body over there, we're going to bring the Tahoma spirit and the culture and everything with us. So in that sense, nothing will change. Tahoma is a special place, and it's because of the students and the staff. It really comes down to the new students and acclimating them to this. Talk about traditions. I'm sure there will be new ones, but like most traditions, it has to be organic. It can't be imposed. We'll see what happens the first couple of years as we all kind of settle into that palace.
How does it feel that knowing less than 7 months, you are going to be teaching in a new building with new students?
The new students part doesn't frighten me very much, and I look forward to that every year. I look forward to seeing new students and meeting new people. But in the new building, with my assignment that's coming up, I tend to hyperventilate a little bit, and I'm thinking about getting a new facility ready, particularly the theater, getting that ready for students to teach classes in it for the fall production, which I also happen to be directing. So I mean, it's there's a little anxiety there,
A lot of
but
pressure on your shoulders.
but it's good. It's people, I won't say all people, I tend to work better with a little bit of stress, something to push me a little bit. So I'm excited by it. I'm really excited by it.
How is that compared to the feeling that you had when you first started working here at this building?
Well, there's always going to be that little bit of where do I go? Okay, I know what's going to happen at some point during the course of next year, and maybe not just at the beginning, it could be March or April. I'm going to stop and go, okay, where am I? Turn around, oh, okay, that's this room, so I know that if I go through that door, I can make it to wherever I'm going. In that sense, not that different, but I'm anticipating a different ambiance feel in the new building.
What kind of memories do you think will be made here in the final months at this historical building?
It's a little bittersweet, to be honest, because this is a wonderful place, and this building has served high school students, as you say, for 40 years, and you know, those memories, we'll bring the memories with us, but nothing's quite the same. We have something better to look forward to, but it's going to be a little tough to leave. People become accustomed to the familiar, and you know, this place, because of the relationships and everything else, has become special in and of itself. I know it'll be really different if I come back, which we will every now and then, I'm sure, and see middle school kids running through the hallways. That'll take a little getting used to.
Yeah. What are your hopes for what will be expected from students and teachers as we get ready to close this building?
What do I hope will be expected? What I hope will be expected is that we approach this change with a positive spirit, with excitement, with determination and preparation, getting ready for the new building. That's what I hope will happen. I hope there's not an overabundance of confusion and anxiety about moving. That's what I hope, and I know that teachers, myself included, are working to kind of calm the waters a little bit. This is going to be fine. Geometry here is going to be the same as geometry there, just in a newer, beautiful setting.
And then the last question for this part is,
Sure.
What are you anticipating for the final months here at this building before turning off the lights?
Wow, what do I anticipate? A growing sense of, I don't want to say nostalgia necessarily, but there's going to be a lot of, stress is not exactly the right word. Anxiety, heightened awareness of things as we have to prepare. I know that teachers, and you probably heard this from other folks, have been directed to begin purging stuff and get rid of stuff that we don't use. And I know that's created its own little set of issues as people let go of stuff. And that's hard to let go of stuff. But I think people will be a little bit wound up, not the right word either, just a little more anxious to get things ready to go. And to be, so on the last day of school, when we turn out the lights, it's not going to be, oh no, I left whatever there, or I wish I had done this. I think people are going to be very well prepared.
All right, part two, the big move. It's the last day of school. All the students are signing their yearbooks. They're getting ready to leave. What happens when the last bell rings? What is to come?
What is to come? Last bell rings, we wave goodbye to the students, and we'll see you in a couple of months over at the Palace. At that point, the rubber really hits the road for us, us being the staff, the folks that are still here. My hope is that, the vast majority of the move is ready to go. Teachers are going to have all their boxes ready in their room, and I imagine the buses will wheel out and the moving vans will wheel in and start getting stuff moved. I don't expect that this summer is going to be a particularly restful one for most staff. I have a feeling that we're all going to be spending a lot of time in the new building.
What will the last day of school look like for you personally?
Wow. This is what I'd like the last day of school to be. Say goodbye to my students and then go sit down and have a cup of coffee and let out a deep breath. In reality, what's probably going to happen is that, okay, now the real work starts. Making sure that our theater storage facility here on this campus will remain here, that's ready to go, and that the theater is as empty as possible to get ready for it's remodeled here. Then I turn all my attention to the new facility and the new school, and making sure that the lights are hung and the lights turn on, and where's this switch, and the fly system is working. I imagine it's going to be a pretty instantaneous thing.
So what is the staff going to be doing during the summer while the students are on vacation?
A lot of the same things. There's ongoing training. The job doesn't stop because we're moving into a new building. There's going to be the ongoing professional development that we're required to get, that most of us want to get. But there'll also be the usual moving in things. I expect that, and again, I'm looking into my crystal ball, I expect staff are going to be spending quite a bit of time at the new building. Just, if nothing else, just finding their way around, putting their pictures up, and whatever that happens to be.
How will the summer for you be different compared to previous ones?
Well, because I'm assuming a different role, a new role, in addition to my role as teacher here. I'm going to continue to direct, but I'm going to have, I'll be the theater manager and technical director of the new theater. So my summer, I anticipate, I've already informed my wife, I won't be going on any long vacations this summer, because I'm going to be at the school learning those systems and getting that ready. I'll probably spend a good chunk of it here. Well, here at Toma High School.
Yeah. How do you think the students will prepare themselves over the summer for going to the new building, and how will you yourself?
I hope they're excited. I mean, I really do. I hope that Everyone's real excited about going and understands that there's a learning curve. And people, sure, people are going to walk in on the first day, and if they haven't come during the summer for the open houses to look around, there's going to be a lot of wow. And okay, where's the stairwell? How do I get to the 100 hall? Well, okay, you take these stairs. You know, there's going to be a lot of that, but I just hope they're very excited about it. That's my big hope.
And so the last question for part 2 is, what are you anticipating for the big move to the new building, whether or not you are involved in it or not?
Let's see,
What are you anticipating for the big move?
I anticipate that it's going to go smoothly, that things don't get lost, damaged, broken, etc. That when a teacher walks in to their room, they open the door and, you know, the 25 boxes they packed here are sitting in their room ready to go. That they can just hit the ground running. That's what I anticipate. And from everything I've seen and heard, and looking at the plans that are being made by district and building administration, my hope is that that's going to go really seamlessly, really smoothly for people.
And so part 3 at the new building. So what preparations are the staff going to be taking to prepare for the first week of school?
In addition to what we typically do, which is reviewing our curricula, making adjustments as necessary, the typical teacher sorts of things, I anticipate there will be additional training coming to us, coming down from administration, just about systems. This is how the elevator works, folks. This is where we put this. If you need these materials, these are where they're stored. A little bit of settling in going on. So I anticipate that those weeks before school will be a little bit different, but a lot of the same things will be going on.
Yeah. How do you think the student body will prepare themselves for the first day compared to how the teachers will?
You know, I really don't see that changing much. I think that, and I'll speak for myself, thinking back to high school, for as much as I complained about being in school, I suppose. I was always excited for the first day to come back, if nothing else, to see friends. I think that will always be there, but I think there will be some added excitement about coming into a new building and pride and ownership. That have you been in the building, the new building yet?
I have not.
You've seen pictures?
I've seen pictures.
It is truly amazing, and I hope that their students take on a sense of ownership and pride in that building, because it is first class, everything about it.
What steps are you going to take to adapt to this new environment at the building, or are you just going to instantly?
Adaptation is going to take some time. You know, it's something as simple as, okay, how long does it take for me to go from here to there? That's going to take a little while to figure out, and but being surrounded by students and staff and familiar faces, I don't think that process will take too long. I really think that that's pretty organic, and it'll happen pretty quickly.
What kind of steps do you think the juniors and the seniors will have to face when it comes to getting used to getting around the new building's architecture?
Juniors and seniors, it shouldn't be any different from freshmen and sophomores, quite frankly. Everybody's in a new building, okay, for the first time. So in that sense, we're all in the same boat. And there's going to be an awful lot of, okay, which way do I go? I can see a lot of staff, myself included, being out in the hallways going, okay, where's your class? Well, I'm in 306. Okay, 306 is the third, anything begins with the 3 is on the 3rd floor. There are the stairs, going up and look for the signs on the door. So I don't think it's going to be any different, per se. I don't think people that have attended school here are going to make any mistakes because they're in the new place.
What kind of environment do you think the building will be like with the 2 added classes, meaning the freshmen and the sophomores?
Been doing a lot of thinking about that. It's going to be very different. Not necessarily worse, in fact, not worse at all, but very different. I think there'll be an added burden of leadership on the juniors and seniors to look after their younger brothers and sisters, quite frankly. I think that the culture here at this school, having been in 9 different districts and about 14 different schools in my career, subbing and doing all kinds of stuff, This place is different, very, very special, and I don't see that changing. So I think freshmen and sophomores will own, pardon me, the new sophomores and the freshman class being brand new to high school. I think there's going to be a lot of those kids looking up to the juniors and seniors. Okay, where do I go? I don't know, but we'll get there together. That's what I anticipate happening.
Yeah. What kind of steps will you be taking to introduce the freshmen and sophomores to high school life, while also at the same time getting adapted to being at the new building as well?
Well, it's my intention to get kids excited about theater and get them to come in and see the facility and take part. There's a natural reticence, I think, being the newest, and they hang back and say, no, we need you. You're part of us, and you need to be involved, and you need to be part. So I anticipate I'll do a lot of that. Being visible, making sure that the facility isn't some locked up castle that only the select few get to go into, but that it's available and accessible to people is important.
How will the returning students, meaning juniors and seniors, be able to get well known with the building while at the same time helping the freshmen and sophomores around as well?
I think again it goes back to we're all in this together. We're going to be doing this on our own. It's surprisingly laid out very simply. It's not going to be that hard to find your way around. Lots of big, wide open spaces and 100, 200, 300 levels. It's just pretty simple. So I think that'll happen pretty quickly. And like I say, while they're doing that, they're helping other people find where they're going. So I don't think that'll be an issue.
What do you see the first couple of weeks at the new building looking like?
I want to say it's going to be smooth as silk and everything's going to be fine. But like in any new construction, there's always, it's called a punch list. And you buy a new house or you have a new building and you go in, oops, this light switch doesn't work. Or hey, when I turn on the cold water, the hot water comes on, or vice versa. So there'll be an awful lot of getting settled in, getting little minor defects fixed. Or how come the door on my closet is locked shut and my keys don't work? Oops, there'll be an awful lot of that sort of stuff for a week or so, is my guess.
Yeah. As the year progresses, how do you think the staff and students will begin to get used to this transition?
Thinking about that. I think it'll go very smoothly. I don't think there'll be a lot of anxiety with the transition. I think that there will be quite a bit of excitement at first and probably some anxiety about where do I go, but I see that fading really, really quickly. After the first couple of days, after you've had your blue day classes, then your gold day classes, and then trying to remember which day it is.
In the road, meaning down the road, how will the student body become more adapted to the new environment as well for the teachers and staff?
I think they become ingrained in a place. There'll be a growing comfort level with the facility, knowing where things are, how long it takes to get there. If I leave this class and I've got 7 to 8 minutes, I don't know what passing time is going to look like, I can make it in this amount of time. I think if I understand the question correctly, I think they'll adapt probably relatively quickly and without a lot of fuss. Again, freshmen and sophomores won't know anything different. This is all they've known. And seniors and juniors, because they're more savvy and been down the block a little bit, will figure it out too. I know that I'm probably going to walk into the wrong classroom going, oops, this is not where I teach. Sorry guys, I'll be back later. But that'll probably just happen at the beginning.
And then what are you anticipating for September 2017 to look like and the 2017-18 school year?
I look for it to be a year of excitement and exploration and assuming new roles and rebuilding the culture here at Tahoma, incorporating 600, 800 new kids, new students. I think it's going to be a very exciting year. I'm really, really looking forward. This is the second new school I've opened in my career, and that first year is always fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Good. Well, thank you for coming by.
Oh, you're very welcome. My very, very pleasure.